That is our first big announcement. Second big announcement is we are taking steps to expand our board of directors, which is exciting for the current board of directors. But in all seriousness, this is really important. We started in a kind of very heightened period, mid pandemic, and there was a benefit in having kind of a small group of people helping to get things started. That's not the right kind of life cycle for a nonprofit organization. In particular, we want to make sure we get more diverse perspectives on the board. We've been able to balance the kind of co-founder part for a while by having so much of the work be done in committees, in volunteer groups, rather than have it be done on the board. The board, as it works today, really doesn't do very much. We have one official board meeting per year to basically renew the bylaws. We file the tax forms. We all do all that stuff. And there are a lot of challenges with the nonprofit industrial complex. Oh man, I was in the middle of my speech and there's pizza. The for-profit pizza industrial complex. I'm going to pause to make sure this is really pizza before I get back. I really got wound up there for a second talking about nonprofits. But in all seriousness, there's a lot of challenges with it. A lot of nonprofits are pseudo money laundering for rich people to assuage their guilt, or clubs for people to not do anything and help people. So we really wanted to make sure we avoid that, but also take advantage of the vast infrastructure of grants and money and donations that being a legal nonprofit can support. And so to that end, we're gonna aim to add 3 board members. We're gonna launch a search process now that will hopefully kind of finalize by September. Specifically looking for a couple things. We want to have more diverse members of the board. Again, transparency, all 4 of us are white, which is not how it should be, especially in Baltimore. So we'll be particularly encouraging Black, Indigenous, people of color, LGBTQIA+, neurodivergent and or disabled people to apply. Experience within the Baltimore art scene outside of improv is something we'd love to have represented on the board. We've seen a lot of boards in the improv space be very improv only, and we've been really collaborative and trying to work with other arts groups, but it's been hard. We don't know enough people in the scripted theater scene around here or the visual arts scene to really make a lot of progress with that. Experience within non-Baltimore improv communities is also something we want. We expect the board to remain mostly virtual, and so having the perspective of somebody who's not in Baltimore but is involved in improv is something we're very open to. It's not a requirement, but again, trying to make sure we keep those perspectives wide. And then just tactically looking for some experience in the grants and donations world, the accounting world, and the legal world. There's a lot of stuff we've been learning to do on our own, which we can continue to do, but will become more and more difficult as we get larger and take on more stuff. The way that will work, we are going to continue kind of limiting how the board uses formal power. We've continued to be an operating board that tries to shepherd a community of volunteers and eventually paid employees. So board members will have no direct or indirect donation or fundraising requirements, which a lot of boards do have. Part of that is it's just not the spirit of our board. Part of it is an access thing. A lot of boards, you have to have $10,000. I asked to join a board, and it was $25,000, and I said, "You don't know me very well." Right. The formal board meetings again will be infrequent, maybe more often than once a year with a larger group, but we'll see. But board members will be expected to contribute to and attend community meetings like this one. We'll be very kind of stringent on the transparency part. It's not something that is necessarily typical in some boards, and board members will have to be contributing operationally to the organization in some way. We definitely don't necessarily want all improvisers on the board, but we do want people who have spent time doing things in the community, even if that's just hosting a show or helping with marketing or something like that. We don't want somebody who's just looking at a spreadsheet and doing our financials. That disconnection doesn't serve our community goals. And we have a fantastic Google application form, which we will send around. There's also a kind of a longer form release about this that goes into a little bit more detail about why now, what are we looking for, And yeah, I think that's all I'll say about that. Yes. Yay.